Hello, and welcome to another hypnosis session. In this session, we are going to explore what it means to be loved, to be heard, to be wanted, to be shared, not by just the people you love, but people that have made fundamentally important impact in your life. It may be somebody you used to know that hurt you very much. And now you look back and see that person in a different way. It may be because you are thinking about that person in a certain light. And that light can shift and alter and turn from hatred and pain into something that is profoundly life-altering. By that I mean it is the change that you can instill in yourself that goes from being a victim to be the triumphant, the one who has conquered their fears, their shortcomings, their humanness in a sort of way that has been explored by many for decades, even centuries. People have meditated on the tops of mountains, in monasteries, in temples and churches, in synagogues, prostrating before their very own gods, to give them the power, the sustenance, the love, to be able to see who they really are, to be the one that has the ultimate courage to change their destiny, to be the one that is triumphant. In a certain way, that is what it means to be reborn. And each religion, each belief system has a way of being reborn. Reborn in the sense of being free from the shackles of pain and suffering, to see them as transitions. Transitions we go through in change that we endure, to become whole and human in the most complete sense of the word. And often we are disillusioned, thinking that somebody out there, some force would have to change us to become human again. Yet we are human in all our forms, with all our faults, with all our ideas. And it is for this reason, as you listen to this recording, you might find yourself relaxing and tuning into these words. And at this very point in time, you may actually decide to take a very comfortable position, maybe a reclining position, and allowing your hands and arms to unfold. And maybe you want to stare at the ceiling or some point in the distance. Or you might just simply want to close your eyes, and you can do that anytime. And if you choose to do these things, it just will allow you to relax more. And what you will find, whether you close your eyes or not, or whether you stand or seat yourself, or whether you're lying down, you'll find that life is very special in a certain way that has not been thought of in the modern culture, where you are driven to do things out of the need to impress the world, out of the need and dire need to be accepted by society. Yet things are such that acceptance is not the whole purpose of life. It's actually a part of life. And what you will find that being an outcast is sometimes a useful tool to find yourself in finding new ways to see yourself, maybe from an objective point of view. That's why we take a trip down the lane. And the strip that we call life is a spiraling path. Sometimes it takes us down and up like a roller coaster. And each time you go down, you might find yourself going sleepier and slower and becoming very attuned to words. And these words will make you feel very relaxed and often very sedated. But you still hear these words. That's the process of becoming unconscious now. Become sleepy sometimes, but you still hear these words. Sort of a feeling of being in a sleeping manner between wakefulness and sleep. With all these things that are happening, your mind is constantly searching. And the moment it stops searching and the conscious processes are slowed, and you start finding yourself tuning into different parts of your mind, the parts that have all the control of your practices. And you find yourself in this very space where you ascend and descend down the stairs of consciousness. And as you descend down those consciousness and going to count the steps from 20 to 19 to 18 to 17, you find that each number may flash before your eyes and fade away as you take steps down. And with each step, your brain and your body become very attuned, very focused into those numbers that are appearing and fading. And as your mind is constantly looking for those numbers, you might find yourself feeling a little bit woozy, sleepy. And that's all very natural because our minds are very focused. Because as we go down in consciousness, as we become unconscious now, you find that things are easier. Your mind is not resisting, but accepting. Acceptance is the first step. Acceptance is knowing where you are. And that's why we are going to do things in a certain fashion, allowing ourselves to relax. And as we do go down those stairs and reach to the bottom level, we might find ourselves into a beautiful garden. A garden filled with flowers and birds and trees. You might find these beautiful butterflies and all the wonderful things you like or you appreciate. Some people like beaches and some people like mountains and some people like valleys. And those things will appear to you because this is your own creation, your own garden. But there is one thing that is very certain. At the center of it, like a reactor, is the sense of love. Vibrates ambient light of multitudes of colors, more than the eye can see, the more than the skin can feel, more than the senses of humanity can touch. And that is what keeps everything afloat, makes everything become alive, become valuable. And yet we are all the time trying to grasp what that is and how it must be. We bring judgments on ideas, and those ideas become our slaves. And then when they become our slaves, unconsciously we don't realize they become also our masters. And as we relieve these thoughts and these ideas and let ourselves be free, we find that we are actually on a journey as we evolve through stages in time and grow through puberty and adulthood to the old age. We find that our likes and desires and wants and wishes do change, as if they are a fleeting glimpse of yesterday and future horizons of tomorrow. They fade away like tomorrow's sunshine and tomorrow's fun and games. Now, as you do go traveling through all these paths, you might find that there are things that you can do to liven up, to bring blessing to that love, which is the self-love that you must have within yourself before you can love others. Because if you do not love yourself, you will sabotage everything. You sabotage things that you have had in your life that you thought were precious, but have vanished and faded away because you have not shown that you are really worthy to love yourself. It may be because your parents haven't given you love, or the lover that you had once have abandoned you, or you felt throughout your life that you were a failure. No matter where you are, what is in the past is in the past, and what is in the future remains unknown. Yet you have the power to shape it, to change your outlook, and to give it meaning. Life in itself is meaningless. It is your idea, your perceptions, that is going to mold it. Are you going to be a Christian or Muslim or a Buddhist? Are you going to believe in the Torah? Are you going to believe in other books? Are you going to find that you are a black, white, Jew, Chinese, American? Whatever you find yourself being is a form that you have taken, like an outer shelf, for an expression you seem and deem to be worthy for this lifetime, which is more than a moment in time. Yet in this infinite span of time, it is less than a speck of dust, particle up in the air. And what you're going to find is that life is so precious and short that it is lost before you even begin. And it is our love of desire for a better future that we keep chasing, desires and worldly possessions and loves and struggles and careers, only to realize at the very end none of it that matters is for us to keep. We cannot keep our worldly possessions as we descend down further into a state of unconsciousness. We realize that as we descend down, that certain things, even our loved ones, cannot travel at the same time to the other side. In our passing, we might find that the other side may be unknown. Their destiny may be far differently intertwined than ours. What is clear, though, is your path in this world is filled with responsibilities that are upon your shoulders only, and you are the one who's going to have to put those actions, those thoughts into practice. What are you going to practice? Are you going to practice a healthier lifestyle? Are you going to practice generosity? Are you going to practice prudency or wisdom? Are you going to be a learned person? Are you going to be a faithful person, a loyal person? Or would you prefer to express yourself as a hateful person with disdain or hurtfulness, or carry burdens of the past pains? This is all for you to decide, and no one can make up your mind except you. This is the reason, as you go through this path and see that love, you can go inside that love of self-love and be embraced and be given the joy of true love, true self-love, to the pureness of your heart. The very nature of your existence on this earth is in that core part, which is the soul, the spirit of your essence. And as you travel through these paths and valleys, you will find that you are only exploring a portion of your unknowing that is being bestowed upon you when in your birth you have chosen to forget everything and embrace a forgetfulness that you spend a lifetime reacquiring, as if a child is learning to walk, then to talk, then to eat, and to act, and to be, and take on roles as fathers and children and mothers, and all these other roles as human beings, only to find ourselves a redefinition of ourselves. And what you choose to define yourself in this span of time is going to give you ideas that are going to take you deeper and more profoundly with each word that you hear. With each breath you take, your body weight will sink deeper and deeper into the ground of gravity, that you will be pulled into this all directional of love, where you can see the blessing of love all over your body, as if it's given a color. The light may go lighting up chakras in your body from the top of your head to the bottom of your navel. You're going to see that all life is energy that vibrates, that flourishes and transforms from one to the other, as if turning the ashes into coal into fire, and water into sunshine. Through evaporation become clouds. And this is a journey a life will take. In this bodily form you shall be transformed. And as you become transformed, do realize that your life is ever a circle in which you are going to have to find ways to get out of your conscious state, whether that is going to be through exploration of your unconsciousness, through experimentation of different substances that may be beneficial to you. Those are all for you to find out. And as you find out and explore, you might be lost sometimes. Only your own sense of value and love will pull you in the right direction. And you will soon learn that you will become a teacher by yourself, giving direction to others, giving love to humanity, giving presence in this world by contribution. And you might ask yourself, what was my contribution? What did I give to this world that is so valuable and made it a better day for the next generation, for the future that is to come? And when your presence is done in this world, when you look back, would you say your life is well worth living? Was it a success? Or will it be filled with retributions, with regrets, with things that you wish you hadn't done? These are things that you can answer in your own lifetime. Before your passing, before that very moment, in one simple instance, you can see the flashing of your entire life before your very own eyes. You will find that you yourself can find the wisdom, the nirvana, the wisdom that comes from the ages of knowledge, that if you only turn your attention inwards and focus on the self, the soul, with your breathing, with your unity, with your connection to the outside world, will you be able to find your true self. In that, I'm going to bring this to a closing. The closing means also an opening for you to find that you can come back to this recording time and time again, to find your own natural path. And this being your own side, your side of seeking to know your spiritual existence, your soulful journey, and your mere existence in this earth as a human being. I will end this with this very idea that life requires sometimes to have a guru that you will follow. And in your search for a guru, you might find there are people who may lead you in the right direction, that speak the truth. The ages of knowledge are stored within them. They are the decipherers of the infinite knowledge, and they are the ones that will impart that wisdom to you if you are only ready to take that journey and to find your own nature. That is the seeking of the divine. And now I bless you, and I bless your words as you listen to your own self talking. And you can now bless yourself, saying, I brought this wisdom, this knowledge, this experience through this journey. And we will end this by the chant of Shanti, which means peace. And we shall say, Oh Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace be upon you. Until next time, stay safe and believe in yourself. Thank you.